other videos going on, please subscribe and tap in and let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what's going on, what's bigger, what's going on in this time, and if you do enjoy, please stick around and let's continue our conversation. Okay, take care. Bye. Hi, welcome to Ocean Yummy. So what I'm planning to do right now is to reload the one on the boy that unalive his family. They have said a couple more things about him and who he is. And remember, I said that how they're going to say he's got a mental health problem as well, right? I mean, even though I don't see autism as a mental health problem, but I mean, my daughter's educated me that how it is a mental health problem, but I don't know. I think it's just a learning disability, basically, within itself. That's how I see it. But I'm going to pop this up. Let me see if I can. So this is the young man that unalived his family and his siblings, his mother and siblings. So I'm going to do now. I'm going to do it this way. There's the other thing gone. Oh, okay. I have to do it the other way. Okay, so I'm going to do it this way because it'd be a bit more helpful. Okay, so I'm going to let it play.
Prosper Family Murders. On September 13, 2024, Juliana Prosper, 48, along with two of her children, Giselle and Kyle, aged 13 and 16, were shot dead by Juliana's 18-year-old son Nicholas Prosper at their flat in Luton, England. All three had been killed with a double-barreled shotgun in the early hours of the morning. The police investigation found that Prosper had also intended to commit a school shooting at his former primary school, St. Joseph's Catholic in Luton. In March 2025 at Luton Crown Court, Prosper was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 49 years. Background edit. There has not been a school shooting in the United Kingdom since the Dunblane massacre in 1996, but there have been a growing number of unsuccessful plots in recent years. Juliana Prosper, née Falcon, was born in Mar del Plata, Buenos Aires Province, Argentina, on June 4, 1976, and migrated to England, where she married Ray Prosper, with whom she had 4 children. At the time of the murders, she was living in a flat off Wallet's Bank Drive with 3 of her children, including Nicholas. Perpetrator edit. Nicholas Prosper, born December 18, 2005, diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, was often described as a quiet and geeky boy while growing up with a strong interest in computers. Although he initially had a friend group in his teens, he became increasingly isolated as he grew up. At one point, he was banned from a website used for documenting imagery relating to people's deaths for making pro-pedophilia comments. Police found that Prosper had taken a strong interest in school shootings, especially the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. He specifically wanted to murder around 30 people to achieve a higher death toll before committing suicide. The intended massacre, which had been planned for over a year, was scheduled to take place on Friday the 13th. Prosper chose his former primary school due to his prior knowledge of the school's layout and security system.
Yeah, I guess that's why
He
he
was not
chose
bullied
it.
there. In August 2024, he attempted to buy a gun but failed. On September 12, the day before the shooting, he bought a double-barreled shotgun and 100 cartridges from a local dealer for £650 using a fake firearms license. The dealer believed the license to be legitimate and notified police about the purchase that same day. He was not arrested, as Prosper had researched the logos, signature, and types of paper on which United Kingdom gun licenses are printed, resulting in a well-crafted forgery. He spent the rest of the day doing online searches relating to instructions on how to kill someone with a shotgun, along with search queries relating to necrophilia and the murder of Sarah Everard. A video uploaded by Prosper to Mega and shared on social media during the early hours of the day of the shooting shows him declaring himself to be a follower of Clementine, a fictional character from the Walking Dead video game series, and showing contempt for his sister Giselle for a specific in-game choice several months prior, saying her face will be mutilated further than necessary. Prosecutors claimed this was not relevant to the shooting. Shooting edit.
That is relevant.
On September 13th, from midnight until around 4:32 a.m., Prosper continued his online research he had started the day before and watched extreme animated pornography. The first shot fired at the flat was a test shot targeted at a teddy bear in Prosper's bedroom. Sometime after this, according to the facts established at Prosper's sentencing, Prosper's mother, Juliana, is believed to have woken up earlier than Prosper had expected, and saw Prosper armed with the shotgun. Prosper had intended to kill his mother and two siblings in their sleep, believing that 3 shots in under 30 seconds would not create alarm from neighbors. A struggle between Juliana and Prosper ensued, during which Juliana appeared to have suffered defensive wounds on her hands and arms from being attacked with a knife, and culminated in Prosper shooting Juliana in the head at close range, killing her. Her body was found in the hallway. Giselle had now woken up, and Prosper fired at her, grazing the back of her head. She fled into the living room and attempted to conceal herself under a dining table, but Prosper pursued and shot her in the face, killing her. Kyle Prosper had fled to the kitchen and retrieved a knife to defend himself with, but was shot in the chest from a distance by Prosper and subsequently stabbed or slashed over 100 times with a knife while he begged for his life. Despite sustaining serious injuries, including a punctured lung, Kyle managed to escape into the hallway but was then killed by Prosper with a gunshot to the head at close range. In total, Prosper fired 7 cartridges in the flat, and Prosper reloaded at least twice. Neighbors described hearing shouting, fighting, and banging noises as the murders occurred. One neighbor, who began hearing the sounds shortly after 5 a.m., eventually went to the door of the flat to complain about the noise. She described hearing banging and ruffling noises and the sound of a boy groaning, followed by a gunshot-like sound, which prompted her to flee. The first 999 call came at around 5:29 a.m. Prosper was seen on CCTV leaving the flat at 5:33 a.m., and police first arrived at the scene at around 5:50 a.m., making entry into the flat at 6:08 a.m. Police discovered the bodies of Juliana, Giselle, and Kyle and found blood stains and bloodied handprints around the flat. Several bloodied knives were also found. A copy of the novel How to Kill Your Family was found placed upon Juliana's body. Prosper had begun walking in the direction of St. Joseph's Primary School on Gardenia Avenue with the reloaded shotgun and 33 cartridges in a large bag, but high police activity and the realization that it was too early for the school to be open prompted Prosper to hide in a nearby wooded area for over 2 hours. In this time, Prosper shared the pre-recorded video where he referred to The Walking Dead online at 6:22 a.m., and disposed of 2 mobile phones, believing this would protect a group of pedophiles he talked to on X, formerly Twitter. At one point, Prosper abandoned the bag containing the shotgun and ammunition in a bush at a playing field. At around 7:55 a.m., Prosper left his hiding spot and walked down Birmingham Road towards a passing police car, which he flagged down with a raised hand. Prosper believed that all the schools in the area would be locked down, so his plan was foiled, and decided to surrender as a result. The arresting officers, who had been on the way back to the station from the scene of the shooting, noticed Prosper and arrested him after seeing blood on his face. During his arrest, Prosper repeatedly said, "It's not murder." He was charged with 3 counts of murder, purchasing or acquiring a shotgun without a certificate, possession of a shotgun, and possession of a blade article in a public place. Indecent images of children were also found on his phone,
Oh, he's a whole
but,
weirdo.
due to the severity of the other charges, he was not charged in relation to them.
Yeah, should have charged him for that
At
too.
the time of his arrest, he was wearing distinctive yellow and black clothing, acting as a sort of uniform with which he had hoped to achieve notoriety. Legal proceedings edit. As Nicholas Prosper was led out of his first court appearance on September 16, 2024, his father, Ray Prosper, shouted, "I still love you, son. It's not your fault, okay," before bursting into tears. Prosper's trial date was set for December 5, later delayed until March 3, 2025. On February 24, 2025, Nicholas Prosper pleaded guilty to 3 counts of murder at Luton Crown Court, along with all other charges. Through his writings and conversations in prison, Prosper stated that he regretted not being able to kill more people.
What?
On March 19, Prosper was sentenced by Mrs. Justice Chimagrup to life imprisonment with a minimum of 49 years to be served. Sentencing was delayed after Prosper initially refused to attend court but was ordered to do so by the judge. See also edit. 2012.
This like I said previously, before they took down the last live, this guy had an issue with whatever. They're saying he had autism or whatever. He literally did premeditated murder. Literally, figuratively, and all the above. So what I'm gonna do, let me see if I could share the sentencing part, because that's the part I really want to get to. That's the part I want to get to, because I know they're going to let me do a lot.
On count 1, the sentence is 3.5 years custody concurrent. On each of counts 2, 3, and 4, I impose concurrent sentences of custody for life, with a minimum term calculated from 49 years, from which the time you have already spent on remand must be deducted. Counsel have calculated this as 188 days. If that is incorrect, the case must be listed so it can be corrected. The sentence on those counts is therefore custody for life, with a minimum term of 48 years and 177 days. However, you remain highly dangerous, and it may be that you will never be released. On count 5, the sentence is custody for life, with a minimum term of 18 years concurrent. This is a discretionary life sentence under Section 274 of the Sentencing Act. On count 6, the sentence is 1 year custody concurrent. I order forfeiture of the shotgun, the cartridges, the knife, and the phones. Finally, I repeat my observation that Juliana Falcon, Carl Prosper, and Giselle Prosper's deaths are almost certain to have saved the lives of many children.
Right.
The community owes them its gratitude, and their memory should be honoured. Please take Mr. Prosper down.
Okay, and also what I also wanted to do today, because I really wanted to get this one up, because if it will just be on my head. So what I'm gonna do now is he's done a plea deal as well. He did a plea deal, some type of plea deal. Let me see if I can get that up as well. Or maybe this is the same one, I'm not sure. So we're hitting all the spots today.
trial date set 14 accused of murdering family. Nicholas Prosper appeared at Luton Crown Court by video link. A trial date has been set for a teenager accused of murdering his mother and siblings at a tower block in Luton. The bodies of Juliana Prosper, 48, Giselle Prosper, 13, and Kyle Prosper, 16, were found at a flat off Wallards Bank Drive, in Leebank on Friday. Nicholas Prosper, 18, of Leebank, appeared at Luton Crown Court by video link from prison and was charged with murder. He was remanded into custody and is scheduled to appear for a plea hearing at the same court on the 5th of December, with a trial date provisionally set for the 3rd of March. He has also been charged with a number of other offences, including purchasing or acquiring a shotgun without a certificate, possession of a shotgun and possession of a kitchen knife in a public place. Police said they believed the victims to be Kyle Prosper, 16, Juliana Prosper, 48, and Giselle Prosper, 13, although formal identification had not taken place. Judge Michael Simon said time was needed for an expert report on the defendant to be produced. Pathology reports and analysis of forensics material also needed to be completed. Flowers were left outside Leebank, a block of flats in the Marsh Farm area of Luton. Get in touch. Do you have a story suggestion for Beds, Herts and Bucks? Follow Beds, Herts and Bucks news on BBC Sounds.
So he's got to come back in December for another sentencing again. So yeah, this family deserves to be spoken about more than the perpetrator, because I feel that yes, they did save people, but save the children, but at the same time, if the pow dealer did not get to the police when he did, or to alert them, it would have been a whole different story. And this is where this story is very important to see, because now they're saying that how he's autistic and everything else with it. And like I said, in the pictures, hold on, if I can show you the pictures, I just want people to see how smug this young man was. First of all, he was very smug. He had a whole smile on his face when he was doing what he was doing. Let me see if I can find. There's a picture. Pacific picture. And it's just so smug. And to me, I feel he knew what he was about to do. He already done one thing already, and he was about to go and do the next part of his plan, but he was foiled. So they're saying it could be because of the internet. Yes, it could be because of that. And it could be because, like he said, he wanted notoriety. He wanted to be famous like all the other thingy. But what gets me is also that how he also was looking at certain images, which makes him a pedophile as well. So that's another thing, because that wasn't mentioned before. And that's probably why the thing got taken down as well. On top of that, the family was innocently taken, considering how the mum came over to England to give birth to him. Seemed like she raised him in a comfortable environment. He was able to get money, £600, to go pay the pow dealer. And there is a picture of him doing that. There's a picture of him practicing how he's going to do it, which they've spoken about. There is also, like was said before, it does give a lot of other unalive of people similarities. I was even looking into him again, and there was another lot of children that came up also. but I'm going to cover this on the dark side of Yemi. I'm not going to put it on here because, yes, it does go to darkened places, because you're basically going into the psyche of a person's mind. You're going into their mind. You're seeing how they think, how they are, which is like the dark side of their mind, because every human being has it. Some people play it out and some people don't. And this young man obviously played it out. So, like I said, because I've seen others who have done this as well, apart from what they have highlighted in the Dunblane shooting that also happened in London. That was one of the biggest ones. I think I remember hearing about that coming up, and I do believe there has been others. The Matrix one. There's been others. There's been so many. Now, it doesn't mean to say everybody who's researching these things is possibly whatever murder or whatever. Sometimes there's interest, and sometimes there is people who take it one step further and they want to go and do these things. And I believe he possibly wanted to be famous for this. There's Metastasize, I think it's called. This also, as was highlighted before, Grant, the one who was obsessed with the cam girl, you know how that ended too. I think what I'm also going to do, hold on, as I have it on my channel, I'm hoping I can do the one tomorrow, because I want to do another one tomorrow. This one. Okay, so this is him in the interrogation room. This is the one I thought was more important too. How we see him in the interrogation room, how he's non-remorseful. I feel if he is let out, he will try it again. He will. Let's get a close-up of him.
To your family dead at your flat, and you've shown us where the shotgun is. We've got someone saying that you've bought the shotgun. Is there anything that you want to explain about any of that?
No comment.
Because this is the point of an interview. It's your chance to tell us if you do want to say anything.
No comment.
And to remember what I said to you about the caution, that if later on in court you want to say something, they may not believe you.
No comment.
Okay. Talking to you, you've got 3 members of your family dead at your flat, and you've shown us where the shotgun is. We've got someone saying that you've bought the shotgun. Is there anything that you want to explain about any of that?
No comment.
Because this is the point of an interview. It's your chance to tell us if you do want to say anything.
No comment.
And to remember what I said to you about the caution, that if later on in court you want to say something, they may not believe you.
No comment.
Okay.
Hi, welcome to Ocean Yemi's channel. We talk about, we react, we do reviews, we do other videos on. Please subscribe and tap in, and let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what's going on, what's big, what's bigger, what's going on in this time, and